When you work for an international company, you're expected to travel a lot. It might seem like holiday time, but the reality is different. The company's security division is keen to give you a few recommendations, since preparing for the worst doesn't mean things won't go well. So, no time to lose. Your journey begins in a few days. The journey starts at your desk. First things to take care of: transport, accommodation, identification. Naturally. But remember the following. Don't catch a night flight. Book a taxi to drive you to your hotel. Make sure your room is not facing the street and no lower than the 3rd floor. It's statistically proven there are fewer incidents. A visa, if necessary, to go with your passport, which has to be valid for at least another 6 months. Be careful, some destinations can be mutually exclusive. Also, bear in mind that the visa process can take a very long time. That's why a second passport is always an asset. The original of these documents should always be in your possession. Keep colour photocopies elsewhere and digital versions on the web and on a memory stick. In your pockets, you should keep vaccination records, an in case of emergency card, and a memo with useful phone numbers. A piece of paper has no value and won't run out of battery. But you will also have registered all these numbers in your phone in data roaming mode, as well as remembering to ensure that your credit card works abroad, won't you? As far as your computer is concerned, if you don't have a specific laptop with a strict minimum, avoid the typical notebook case that basically screams out, "I'm full of secret information, steal me." Opt for a backpack instead, and of course, there should be no computer or documents in your suitcase. And keep inside it, if necessary, your current medication in its original box with a corresponding prescription written in the International Non-Proprietary Name, INN. Your GP will know. Nothing special to say for your baggage. Oh yes, make sure that it's discreet, as for everything, and protected with a certified TSA lock. That's about it. Now you can read up about the country you're going to, its culture and its customs, especially in the areas you'll be visiting. And of course, its current social and political situation. In addition to dedicated websites, you must also read your country's foreign ministry website. For example, the Information for Travellers section, as quoted on the French page, as well as addressing in-house experts and checking the security division's intranet pages. You're now ready to board. Here, as in any public place with a high concentration of business travellers, and therefore potential competitors, just like in hotel bars and business centres, be discreet. Use a screen filter, talk in a low voice, or even better, don't work at all during the flight. Walls don't have ears, but your fellow passengers do, as well as eyes. During passport control, please stay calm, even if it takes forever. At the customs, be patient and cooperative. Having to open your suitcase once is standard. Twice can be frustrating, and 3 times is definitely irritating. But don't get angry, at least not in front of the officers, and keep answering all of their questions politely. As soon as you can, make contact with your host. If your driver has not yet arrived, because your flight was delayed or because he's stuck in traffic, stay in the airport to sort things out by calling him, your client, or your hotel. Proceed to the arrival hall. Use whatever sign you previously agreed on with your host. For example, your driver is wearing a coloured cap. No need to be too creative, but avoid the usual sign with your name and the name of the company on it. Not all baggage handlers are crooks, and not all tourists in flip-flops are spies, but it's better to play safe and stay discreet. If you weren't able to get any local currency before arriving, don't withdraw any cash or exchange money at the airport, or just enough for the taxi fare. Ideally, wait until you can withdraw money at your hotel or at the bank. If you're on your own, you'll have to find a taxi. But not any taxi though. While in the car, don't put anything valuable in the trunk. Lock the doors and sit back for the ride. To spare you any inconvenience, your driver will make the necessary detours to avoid any demonstrations. In case of an accident, lock the doors. Already done that? Good. Well done for keeping up. And don't interfere with the driver. Let him do the driving. He speaks the language and knows the customs. So he's the one to step out of the car and handle the situation if needed. And if he does get out of the car, keep your doors locked Yes, I know, you've already heard that 3 times. If the situation gets out of hand, stay in the car and call your co-workers, your client, the police, or even your consulate, depending on the seriousness of the situation. Finally, at your hotel. At the reception desk, rather than your personal address, give your professional one, the one you indicated on the immigration form, and make sure your room corresponds to your request. 3rd floor, not street side. All this with the appropriate discretion that you've learnt so well. And lastly, the room. First, check that the doors and windows can all be closed properly, door chain included, and that there's a safe to keep your documents and money in, but not for the sensitive information you have, nor for your computer, both of which must always stay with you. Sorry. Now, this is your room, your sanctuary. No professional appointments. In fact, no appointments at all. Just one last thing before taking a shower. Check out all the emergency exits and take a picture of the evacuation plan. On the road again. A police checkpoint. Hands in plain view. Announce your movements and no ambiguous behaviour. Don't sign any forms, but otherwise do as you're told and comply with local customs. Just consider it as part of the fun and bear in mind that it could be worse at night. The police could be more edgy and you'd have to be even calmer. What's going on here? A little night out with a co-worker? That's fine, as long as you're not wearing jewels and valuables. In a bad neighbourhood. No need for panic. They're after your belongings, not after you. You're under stress, which is only natural, but so are they. Don't try to resist. A small knife can result in serious bleeding. Don't try to control the situation. Your goal is simply not to make it worse. Money and personal belongings might get stolen. Get used to the idea now, or even better, don't wear any valuables at all. Then you won't be a target. By the way, withdrawing money at a bank doesn't mean at the cash point of your favourite bank. In the street, you're exposed. And then you're in trouble. Do what they tell you, so as not to make things worse and to get it over with quickly. There we are. It's all over. You're not hurt. Now, go and report it to the police as soon as possible. You're at the end of your assignment. Stay focused until the very end of your journey. Refusing to carry anything for anyone is good. Making sure you're not carrying anything for anyone without even realizing is better. Always keep an eye on your luggage, even if nothing serious occurred. Or, if you have any information, let us know by email or telephone. It's good to share.